Hello, my wonderful people, viewers, and subscribers. I want us to listen to this headline before I drop what I have to say. Key IPOB figures neutralized. Sit at home now ineffective. Malam Nuhu Ribadu. Hey. This statement now, some people will see it now, they will not understand the spiritually backup of this message, the politically motivated of this headline. When I say now, some people will come now and say, why am I passing fake news? I'm not passing fake news. And in case of any of us who have been offended by the video I posted some couple of hours ago, I am here to tender my unreserved apology to the member of the house, to the Biafrans, because they say power belongs to the people. So if you find the video offensive and it goes against what you expect from my channel, please, I am very, very sorry about that. But I can tell you for free of charge, I don't even see what is the fake news there. I don't see what the fake news there. That Alex Toba found himself in a hot soup. What is fake about that news? If you come out now, you or me now, or rather, let me use myself as example. I come out now. I'm the head of my family. Then, if there's any crime I'm doing, my family will be aware of it. My wife, my children, they will be aware of it. Because they are the one to defend me at every point in time. So, Alex is accusing Simon Ekpa of terrorism. And I remember say, because of this issue of Alex now, that was why Alex and Nigeria government connived and removed the terrorism charges against Simon Ekpa. Because initially they were charging him for terrorism. Then when Alex found out that charging this guy for terrorism is going to indict him as a person and also as a president and also as a country, because you cannot tell me that Simon Ekpa is a terrorist while he's serving under your own government. You cannot tell me Simon Ekpa is a terrorist while he's a very, very good friend. In fact, very, very good ally to you. You cannot tell me that Simon Ekpa is a terrorist while you, Alex Tobe, is intertwining, dining with Nigerian terrorist group. The likes of Shetima, the likes of Yusuf Tuga, and the likes of Badaru. I think Adamu Badaru or Mohammed Badaru. So tell me, please, where is the fake news in what this guy have said? Maybe you have known him for passing out fake information, but in this news now, I can beat my heart that if you come and say Simon Ekpa is a terrorist, why you, Alex, is dining with Nigerian government that even the world recognized as a terrorist country, then what makes Alex innocent of all the charges they are levying against Simon Ekpa? Anyway, I don't know how you take it, but I'm just here to explain to you. Okay, let us go to the main business that carry us come today about what they call it, Nuhu Ribadu have just said. It's one of the memo that leaked some couple of months ago, where this guy said that Nnamdi Kanu, that nothing on this earth that will make him to leave DSS. That in fact, even if all the whole Igbos gather and request for Nnamdi Kanu to be transferred to Kuje prison, he will say no, because DSS is under his office. In other words, I said this yesterday, that who is persecuting Nnamdi Kanu is Nuhu Ribadu. Now him get the right to drop that case, not even Tifunbu. Everybody is keep on calling Tifunbu, but the winch, or the wizard behind that so many trials is Nuhu Ribadu. Now he come out now to make this statement again. Let me interpret this statement to you. What it simply means that, because if you people could remember, they said that sit at home have nothing to do with them. We are killing the economy of the Southeast, but it is affecting them full time, affecting them big time. And according to that memo that leaked last time, he said instead of them to release Nnamdi Kanu based on the ground of insecurity, they rather release him because of that sit at home. Now he is claiming now that Nnamdi Kanu, the sit at home now is ineffective. In other words, Nnamdi Kanu will remain wherever he is forever. The insecurity, they don't care. If you go to waiting this guy mentioned, he didn't even mention a victory over the killings of his own brothers. Nuhu Ribadu is a core Fulani man, and they are the one that is planning to take over the Southeast. So how do you think that this man is going to handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu? You know, when I say this one now, a lot of people will also attack me. Why am I now I'm using my mouth to tell Nuhu Ribadu on what to do or send him to jail? I don't know how our people are reasoning. Sometimes you people are making this job so difficult for somebody to even come here to begin to talk. Because ekwonenu epitakoto ekwona na epitakoto ya just onona just you can is either you are not you are cold or you're hot. You cannot be the two. Anyway, that's by the way. This is another headline we are going to also treat as we proceed. The flaunting lies, misinformation of David Hundoyin. That lying propaganda Tifunbu's boy. He went on an African stream and lied against the Biafrans again. But anyway, we are going to read it when we come back. So please, as you are reading, drop your opinion at the comment section. If I have offended you in the previous videos I dropped today, I am sorry about that. And for those of us who are threatening that are going to unsubscribe from my channel, I'm also sorry about that. If you have unsubscribed because of the news, go back and subscribe again. I have promised, my promise here today is that guy's news will never cross my channel again. So that is my promise I will give to any of you here who believed in what I'm doing and who spend their data and time to watch me every now and then. So please, in any way you have feel offended, I am sorry. Anyway, let us go straight to the reason why we are here. Help me to circulate this message that Nuhu Ribadu have vowed that Nnamdi Kanu will die in DSS dungeon. That is the headline of this news. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu has asserted that key figures of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have been captured and neutralized, and the Monday sit-at-home order has become more ineffective. Nigerians report that Nuhu Ribadu made this known on Thursday during a presentation of security achievements of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration at All Poverty Congress APC National Summit. According to Ribadu, Tinubu's administration inherited 5 major security crises across the country, which includes Boko Haram in the northeast, armed banditry in the northwest, secessionist agitation by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN, in the southeast, Niger Delta unrest, and communal header farmer conflict in the north central. Where is Ishwap in this news? It is not included. Where is Mahmuda? Probably these ones are the ones he is sponsoring. It is not included. Where is Lakurawa? Probably this one are the ones he is sponsoring. It is not here. And you tell me that this guy does not mean business. He does not mean to keep him as Nnamdi Kanu in perpetuity until the day the young man will give up the ghost. You will come out now and tell me that I am now saying things that does not make sense. But anyway, Sha, my own duty is to present the work to you, or rather the news to you, and your own is also to interpret it to your own understanding or to the best of your own knowledge. The National Security Advisor said that through combined efforts, security agencies have been able to contain the mass killings, kidnappings, and destruction of perpetrated by criminal elements across the country. Highlighting the achievement, the National Security Advisor said over 13,543 Boko Haram fighters were neutralized in the past 2 years, with over 11,000 arms recovered and destroyed. He added that 124,408 Boko Haram fighters and their families have surrendered to troops, and the attacks on security forces have significantly reduced since the inception of Tinubu's administration. Let me continue. Let me not talk too much. He said in the southeast, a welcome development is the sit-at-home orders are becoming more and more ineffective. Key IPOB and ESL figures captured or neutralized, over 50 police stations and many police posts have been rebuilt. Attacks on security forces have significantly reduced. Social and economic activities are normalizing. It didn't mention the Fulani killings both in Enugu, in Anambra State, in Ebonyi State, and Imo State. It didn't mention them. All those ones, they are the ones that are sponsoring it. Okay. Attacks on security forces, okay. He said in the northeast, or rather northwest, watershed year in the fight against banditry, 11,250 hostages freed, a decline in mass abductions, decisive blows to top warlords. Ale Kachala, Badoro, Halilu, Subabu, Dangote, Ishuhu Yellow, Damoto, etc. were all eliminated. Where is Bello Tunji, your own brother? Nuhu Ribadu. You cannot call his name. Okay, we're moving forward. deflecting the lies, misinformation of David Hundoyen at African Stream. It is a common tactic for beneficiaries of corrupt systems to fiercely defend its flawed construct. Mr. David Hundoyen has again commenced his sly but subtle antics to twist narratives. This time, he has extended his misinformation gimmicks and may have deceptively convinced some Pan-Africanist online media outlets like the African Stream to spread the purvey these false narratives and propaganda. Thus, it is critical to correct the false impressions being spread by Mr. Hundoyen or even the African Stream about the Biafra quest for self-determination, the IPOB movement and its leaders spearheading it and their motives. First, Biafra does not represent a Zionist ideology. It was an ideology born out of necessity for survival, following acts of ethnically inspired mass extermination. Suffice to say that over 75% of Biafrans, and more extensively the entire southern Nigeria, are Christians, forming the majority of the populations. The Biafra ideology is not a recent phenomenon. Biafra existed for nearly 3 years, 1967 to 1970, before it was brutally starved into submission by the Nigerian federal government in the early 1970s. And it is on historical record that many nations, including the United Kingdom, Israel, USSR, USA, some Sahel and Arab countries, etc., had in one way or the other, overt to covert, participated in the political and the interest-based conspiracy against Biafrans. So there was no religious motive behind the Biafra ideology from its root stock, just survival and the collective of a deserted and abandoned people to thrive. Sadly, the question on which the African stream, and their source, Mr. Hundoyen, failed or refused to address in the view of the global African audience was what sparked the Biafran quest for independence in the first stance, or what spurred it roughly 50 years later. Instead, they choose to deceptively write off a Zionist agenda as it is more convenient to do, and also to hinder people, especially people of the global south, to take historical lessons or research on what prompted the Nigeria Biafra debacle, which has endured till date. That detailed answer, which they consciously have failed to provide, is what we shall painstakingly do in this piece. Now, Biafra's pursuit for freedom and sovereignty from British amalgamated Nigeria emerged as the Nigerian state from inception of 1914 to post-independence thrived in the subjugation, marginalization, and exploitation of the people of the eastern region, which would later become Biafra. The height of it was the massacre, pogroms of 1966, which led to the inevitable declaration of Biafra. A year later, after talks and diplomatic efforts salvaged the situation, failed. The unlawful vindicative massacre of innocent citizens from the east across the north and western region of Nigeria, the extrajudicial execution of their citizens who served diligently in the Nigerian army, anchored on the fabricated narrative surrounding the first coup on January 1966 as an ethically motivated coup, were all catalysts which led to the secession of the Republic of Biafra. Suffice to say that the anniversary to honor the birth of Biafra happens to be in this month of May, on 30th, which was the actual date when the former military governor of the Eastern Region, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, declared independence after receiving unanimous mandate from the Eastern Consultative Assembly, which hosted all the ethnic groups of the Eastern Region on 27th May 1967. That declaration would later lead to what became the Biafra genocide, as the Nigerian government, alongside its allies, were not far behind the Biafrans, whom were the most unmistakable terms forced to live in the first place. Thus, the Biafra Heroes Day is vital. They are designed to reflect on those who sacrificed their lives for our freedom, those who were killed, butchered, and starved into submission. Now to contemporary times, the resurgence of the quest for Biafra self-determination and advent of pro-independent movement, like the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, all boil down to the historical injustice of how the Biafrans were treated, the promises of acceptance upon surrender which were never kept, and the marginalization which followed for decades, that gave birth to the recent agitation for Biafra, as quite rightly noted by Mr. Hundoyen. Secondly, Mr. David Hundoyen acknowledged that there has been religious-motivated violence against communities in the North and Middle Belt. But he failed to reveal those behind the religious violence. He also failed to say that the Fulani herdsmen and other terrorist groups such as Boko Haram has the backings from the Nigerian security and political apparatus itself. Evidence of this abound. There are ex-military senior staffs, servicemen coming forward to give account of collusions and deep polarization of Nigerian security architecture. Thankfully, the security challenges posed by either ethnic or Islamic extremists, or even both, is not a problem confined to Nigeria alone. It is a regional broader security challenges across the West African region, particularly in the Sahel region. And the Sahelians, especially the indigenous peoples in the AES, are in a better position to collaborate or even independently tell the global African audience if there is an ethnic jihad interchangeably masqueraded as a religious one against indigenous populations across the West Africa. Thirdly, the political ideology for Biafra under the IPOB movement is a peaceful one and has stayed so since inception, notwithstanding heavy extrajudicial crackdowns by the Nigerian state, acknowledged even by the most biased and prejudicial human rights institutions such as Amnesty International. The IPOB leader was arrested in 2015 for professing his rights to political self-determination and asking for a United Nations supervised referendum. He was detained for 2 years and granted bail until he was designated for assassination by the Nigerian military. A plot which failed, but over 28 innocent civilians were killed. Luckily for Nnamdi Kanu, he escaped into exile. However, 4 years later, the Nigerian government broke all known local and international laws to not only kidnap him but to extraordinary rendition to Nigeria from Kenya, an act that has attracted so much local and international condemnation. Mr. David Hundoyen won't speak about that because it won't favor his lies. Nnamdi Kanu has been on trial and on many occasions either his release or his innocence has been ordered by the Nigerian judiciary itself. But the federal government has proven adamant to these rulings by competent courts and continue to incarcerate him. Mr. Hundoyen failed to acknowledge this, but instead chose to blindside the African audience with an insidiously clipped off an audio broadcast of IPOB leader made specifically to the Nigerian youths whom were being hunted and killed by their own police and military during the EndSARS protest. Something relative to the Arab Spring or even the most recent Reject Finance Bill mass protest in Kenya. The intervention of global bodies or influential nations in times of crisis, especially on humanitarian grounds, may be a downside, but in some cases unnecessarily. If not, Mr. Hundoyen would not have participated in the research team which its findings allegedly led to the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the United States of America during President Trump's first administration, a clause that only be invoked when there is an evident sign of religious repression, and as all may recall, were promising results, though they were short-lived. Nevertheless, while the outspoken or lobby activists of Mr. Michael Rubin and his AEI Institute are acceptably and applaudably, especially on the humanitarian grounds, about the vices being faced by Christians in Nigeria, either in the north, south, or middle belt. There is no political connection or collaboration of his stance about Biafra self-determination with the IPOB movement, let alone connecting him and Mr. Simon Ekpa, who has been certified of being a Nigerian state-sponsored agent provocateur sent to bring chaos and poison the genuine quest for Biafra self-determination to IPOB and as per the laws of Finland. He, Simon Ekpa, is being persecuted for his crimes against the people of the eastern Nigeria. Make no mistakes, Mr. Simon Ekpa is no lieutenant of the IPOB leader, as Mr. Hundoyen claimed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, though a revolutionary, is no violent criminal who have ordered or condoned any attack on innocent civilians. If not, he would have been convicted over his 10 years of legal tussle in the Nigerian judiciary facing of the federal government on alleged charges of treason and terrorism. How Biafra or her people wish to utilize these resources or who they conduct business with it, be it from the east, west, north, or south, is strictly her business as long as her national interests are not jeopardized, and extensively as long as her internal commitments to true Pan-Africanism, which has been demonstrated beyond doubt, are not compromised. So my good people, I don't hear I'm finished. Drop your own thought at the comment section. Your opinion matters a lot in this concept. Have a nice day and may good Lord continue to bless us all, the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Please continue sharing, liking, commenting, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos. Yemesiano, my people.